Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Eugene Honrath with Shadow Warriors Meet the Maker interview. I've got Jason Glover from Mammoth Creek Knives. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, Eugene. How are you doing?
Good, good, good. So give me a quick synopsis of who you are, your company name, what you guys produce, and where you guys are located.
My name is Jason Glover. My company's Mammoth Creek Knives. We are in Roy, Utah, and I make custom knives,
Awesome.
custom fixed knives.
Fixed blade knives?
Soon to get into folders, hopefully, as soon as I can get geared up to do so.
Oh, okay, okay. So what kind of knives do you produce?
Hunting knives, fighting style knives, big choppers, one-offs. Basically, if the customer has an idea, I've done several customer designs and stuff that they want to see, and have come up with drawings for customers for one-offs. But I've got several of my staple models, but I'll do whatever.
Okay, cool, cool. Well, tell me a little bit about your company. When you got started, who's involved in it? Like, do you have any partners or employees? And then, let's go back to kind of what you believe you specialize, or what you think you specialize in.
I started kind of a hobby about, I'd say, 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
I've actually been selling knives for about 1.5 years now.
So tell me a little bit about, you say hobby. Tell me about that first knife that you made. Like, did you watch some videos, or did you modify something, or tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, it started with me and my brother.
Okay.
My brother was doing his leather work.
Who's your brother?
My brother is Justin Glover, Limited Leather and Tool.
Okay.
He was doing his leather work, and he also wanted to make knives, and I wanted to make knives also, and it was something that we always talked about. And I used to travel the pipeline working, and I would be off for 3, 4, 5 months at a time, and needed something to do to occupy my time while I was off and at home. And then I'd be off, wherever in the country they needed me. And so I kind of started it more as a hobby, just to kind of take up my time while I was off work, and really enjoyed doing it, and really started seeing a lot of different things, and started watching a lot of YouTube, and learning a bunch of stuff, and just started upgrading tools. And I started with the Harbor Freight 1x30.
Okay.
For putting my grinding my knives, and so yeah, and then eventually upgraded to where I could do my own heat treat and all that. It's just progressed from there, and I've just been steadily dumping money into it and going from there.
Okay.
And then I was fortunate enough to get full custody of my kids, and decided I wasn't going to travel with the pipeline anymore, and so now I'm home full time. So
nice. What do you do other than knives?
I work at Jensen Auto. I work in the engine machine shop. We rebuild all the engines, cylinder heads, flywheels. We do all that kind of stuff.
What kind of engines?
Any kind of engine. We do anything from your little 4-cylinder Subaru, which we get a lot of Subarus. You got a Subaru.
I got the Subi.
I'll tell you what, man, them Boxster motors, they're a pain in the butt to tear apart.
I've heard that.
No, they're not bad, though.
Nice.
But yeah, anything from a Subaru motor to a Cummins that's got a camshaft 6 feet tall.
Oh, no, man, okay.
And a Cummins meaning not, when I say Cummins, everyone thinks, they're Dodge pickup running down the road. I'm talking about the semi motors.
Yeah, the big boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But yeah, we do it all.
Nice. Okay, so it's just you, or do you have other people working with you? Any partners?
If I said it was just me, I'd be lying. Lindsay.
You might get snacked too.
Yeah, exactly. Lindsay, my fiance. Ultimately, she's my partner in all this. She's out here all the time. If there's nothing that she can really do, she does a lot of my sharpening. She'll come out, and while I'm working, she'll just be, organizing and cleaning up shop, sweeping the countertops off. She she tries and helps keep me organized, keep me motivated, keep me going, and like I said, does a lot of the sharpening. She does everything she can.
Nice.
So.
Well, so tell me a little bit about what you like most about making knives. Is there something particular in the process, something you like to do, or is it just overall, what do you like specifically?
I really like doing the grinds.
Okay.
And coming up with the grinds, like, like this. This is just a basic, one bevel, nothing.
So where did you get? So I bring that back. Let's talk about that. The lines and the darker blade and they look like bubbles to me, but the drill marks. That's kind of like your signature style, right?
Yeah, and and that was kind of a thing, and I, me and my brother were talking one night, and I was like, man, I got to come up with something. I got to, like Chris has got his style, Cleveland's got his style.
The multi grind king.
You can see different makers and their different styles. I was like, man, I gotta kind of come up with something. And so I just started drilling holes one night, just drilling some dimples, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool, and I made a couple, and then I was like, well, man, what if I, it just hit me one night. I was like, well, what if I put some lines in there and, just kind of do it a little bit more random, and then I was like, oh man, and I could see the texture in the metal, and normally I would have sanded it all out smooth, and I was like, I wonder what that would look like if I dunked it in acid. And so I dunked it in acid, and then took like 1,000 grit paper and sanded it to where you could see, like the highlights and the high parts of the metal, and still have black in there and dark, and I was just like, oh man, that's cool. And when I first showed it to my brother, he's like, yeah, it's okay. I don't know.
But I think that's Justin's personality right there.
Yeah. Well, and then it got to the point where he was like, dude, I made him one. I made him a knife and did all that on it. And, and at first I was using a claw hammer too, and just beating the crap out of the blade to get that claw hammer mark in there. And I eventually went away from that because I didn't like that. I thought it was too busy with all of that. But he was like, dude, I think you got it. This is awesome. And then just more and more people just started commenting about it and commenting. And I was just like, wow, maybe I do have something here, And every time I talk to somebody, they're like, oh yeah, I absolutely love the design of your blades and the look of them.
And it makes your knives unique, and it kind of, when I think Mammoth Creek, that's what I think.
Yeah, and it's, it really has taken off. I mean, I haven't taken an order in quite a while that, somebody has not wanted that finish on it.
Yeah.
Everybody wants that finish on it,
So do you have a flag? So that's kind of like I would call that your flagship like style. Do you have a flagship product or a model that you consistently make, like a size or a type?
The model that has taken off for me and probably become one of my most popular, and I called it the Tactipoon.
Okay.
Just for lack of my imagination coming up with a better name. And the only reason I called it a Tactipoon was it was kind of tactical because it's got all the multi-grinds on it and all that, but it's a real severe drop point, so it's more of a harpoon point.
Okay.
So I was like, when I was talking to my brother, I was like, well, I came up with a new design. I think I'm going to call it the Tactipoon, but I says, I really don't know if I like the sound of that. I need to come up with a better name for it. But I mean, hell, every time I tell somebody, they're like, oh, I love that name. And it's just like, well, okay, if you like it,
I like it. It's unique. Do you have one to show us?
I do.
Nice. Let's see it. All right.
It's got the triple bevels on it. These are Patriot handle scales from Kieranite.
God bless America.
Yeah. I like to do a high polish on my spines and around the handle. But yeah,
The Tactipoon.
that's the Tactipoon.
Nice.
It's a great EDC knife. It's not too big.
That's a perfect freeze.
It was Justin calling in.
Oh, that's okay. Hey, that was a perfect freeze. You had it right there. There's nothing even to cut out from that. I love it. So tell me. So that's kind of your flagship product. With the style on it. And you kind of already answered it, but I'll ask it again. Do you do completely custom work? Like if I was like, hey, Jason, let me send you a sketch. Can you make this? And what are your limitations, if you have any, and do you impose those on your customer?
Okay, so I'll show you this one right here. This is going to a customer. He sent me this sketch. He wanted a really severe clip point, and he sent me this, and it's based off of his design, his drawing. He sent me the drawing and the measurements. It's a really short blade, clip point, and this one is in the process of being made for him.
What's the overall length on that?
It is overall length is 8 inches.
Okay.
And it's only a 3 1/4 inch blade.
Oh, I'm all about that. I love it. Nice.
So yeah, it's a lot more handle than it is blade.
So you kind of, it's a good lead into the next question is that you do custom work. What's the craziest request that you've gotten? I already have one in my mind, and I don't know if it was a request, but I know that damn thing is pretty freaking crazy. The sword, or what I would call the sword.
What, you mean this one?
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Actually, I better be careful of putting my fingers there now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blueberry Kraken handle scales. From Voodoo Resins.
Nice, nice.
So yeah, this thing's like 20 inches long.
So is did that kind of custom come from your own mind, or did someone say, hey, I want this?
No, that came out of my head. It was just something I wanted to do. In fact, this one's going to be shipping out tomorrow or the next day. The guy that won that on the raffle wanted a belt from Justin. Justin's finished with his belt, so now we can ship it all off together.
Nice.
So,
nice. Yeah.
Plus, I still needed to sharpen it.
Who's wearing that on their belt?
I don't know, but they better have a limited leather belt because it's not going to hold up.
And they better be like 6'7".
Yeah, exactly.
So have you gotten any other crazy requests in terms of custom orders?
Not anything too crazy.
Okay.
I've got a guy that we're going to do a big Quakem for a pig sticker. That one's a little over the top, I think. Well, I shouldn't even say over the top. It's just going to be, it'll be a one-off. It'll be a big knife and, designed for hog hunting. So
nice. Okay. Oh, that's cool. So, leading into, after customs, I always like to talk about pricing. Do you kind of have standard pricing, or is it a case by case in terms of your knives? Like, where do you start and kind of where do you go, or is it all over the road?
Yeah, it's pretty much case by case. Like this knife right here, if you were to order this knife and get a basic sheath from Justin, which we've talked about a basic sheath from Justin, a basic sheath is still going to be a bulletproof sheath from Limited Leather and Tools.
An overbuilt tank, you mean? Is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So what I mean by a basic sheath is it'll just be probably a fold over sheath stitched on one side.
Okay.
It'll be just a regular, loop to hang on your belt, no carving, no nothing. That's what I mean by a basic sheath. It's still going to be Herman oak leather. It's still going to be stitched. It's all, it's all quality stuff.
Yeah.
It's just going to be like no frills. It'll just be a basic
Yep.
style sheath.
Okay.
But it's still going to last you a lifetime.
Yeah. And so that knife and a basic sheath, what are we looking at approximately? We won't hold your feet to the fire.
Well, it'll vary a little bit on handle scales. Voodoo's a little bit more than Kyanite is, a lot more actually than Kyanite is, but you're looking at anywhere from 225, 250. So,
okay, somewhere in there.
Right, and then if you want to add on, a custom carved sheath, an appendix carry sheath, scout carry sheath, you can go as high as you want with the sheath,
Yeah.
And then that'll be based on, what Justin charges me above and beyond what a basic sheath would be.
Okay.
So,
is he giving you the family discount?
I wouldn't say family discount, but I do give him probably the most work of anybody else. So he does give me a pretty decent discount just because I'm doing so much with him.
Nice.
So.
Nice. Okay. Perfect. So tell me a little bit about what's like that big one cost. We'll take that as kind of like your top end craziness. If I want to order that one today, what's something similar to that cost?
You're gonna be you're gonna be in the $1,000 range.
Okay.
If not a hair more.
All right. Okay. So we won't hold your feet to the fire on that. So the next thing I like to talk about is you're here you're doing it to make money. I know you enjoy what you're doing, but has anyone come to you with any barters? And if they have, what are some good barters that someone can have come to you with? I'm not sure you're going to beat a porta potty with Michael Cleveland, but let's see.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely not going to beat a porta potty. I have done a little bit of trading. I did a partial trade for cash and an omen. I don't know if you're familiar with what those are, but it's a bigger circle with a smaller circle, and then it had the glow in the dark, look like a crescent moon between the two.
Yes.
He traded me one of those in cash.
Okay.
I did end up selling the omen. Other than that, I haven't done a whole lot of trading. I do have a couple of guys that want to do some trading, but right now I'm not in a position where I can do any trading because I'm trying to get everybody's knives off of my bench and get them to the customers that have been waiting longer than I told them it was going to take. I got myself into a position where all these orders were coming in, and then all of a sudden, I was like, oh crap, I'm behind. And so that was the reasoning for closing my books for, just for a couple months, was get everybody done, get everybody taken care of. And then once I'm done with that and everybody's, taken care of, then I can start doing some more stuff like that.
Okay. So, perfect. All right.
I had a guy get a hold of me yesterday. He's wanting to do some trading with me. So
nice.
But
nice. Okay. So do you have any other knives you want to show us?
Sure.
Any other exciting things out of the Mammoth Creek knives?
Okay, so this is a small one of my small little cleaver designs. This one I did a triple grind on, and this one is also Damascus, from Alabama Damascus. And this is maple burl that's been dyed black and red. And I have tried to get good pictures of these handles and just can't do it. They look so much cooler in person.
Yeah.
But yeah, the red and black really look good, and it's, like I said, it's just dyed black and red stabilized maple in Damascus.
Nice.
On just one of my small cleavers. This is another Tactipoon. This is the diamond wood handle scales.
I'm telling you this right now. That touches my heart right there. It brings me back to Frost Cutlery when I was like 12 years old.
Well, I was able to come across about 135 sets of scales from diamond wood in all sorts of different colors. So I've got a whole bunch of them.
All right, maybe I'll order my Frost Cutlery knife from you to bring me back.
Yeah.
Just 10 times better.
Yeah.
So, real quick, I kind of thought about it when I saw your logo pass. Where did the logo come from?
You know, well, Mammoth Creek Knives came from Mammoth Creek in south central Utah,
Okay.
where our family has a cabin,
Okay.
and that's where me and my brother grew up learning how to use knives, gut fish. You know, that was, I mean, my dad was 16 when the cabin was built, so obviously me and my brother have been going there since we were just babies. And then the Mammoth design. Renee, one of the guys in all the EDC groups, he's friends and works with my brother, and he's an amazing artist. And so I started talking with him about making me a maker's mark, and kind of gave him an idea of what I wanted. And I told him, you know, I wanted kind of like a real mean kind of, you know, I wanted a mammoth skull, but I didn't want it to look like a real mammoth skull. I wanted it to kind of be a little futuristic, maybe, you know, and he came up with several drawings, and I saw that one, and I was like, dude, that's it. You nailed it.
Yeah.
That is like what I had in my head.
Awesome.
So.
Perfect. Well, that was good to hear the story behind that. Give me a little quick recap of your company, what you guys sell, and then where can people find you and find your products?
So, right now we're only selling fixed blades. Like I said, soon to be in the future. I don't know how soon in the future. I'd like to get into folders. You can find my products on Facebook, Mammoth Creek Knives on Facebook and on Instagram.
Okay.
I do not have a website. That'll be something here in the near future as well. So.
And then, do you have a YouTube or any other?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do have a YouTube. It's Mammoth Creek Knives on YouTube as well. There's not a lot of content on there, but I really need to step up my content game and get some more content on there. So all the money that I paid for that VisiWig app, I need to get using it.
Nice. Hey, man, well, thank you so much for joining us today for Shadow Warriors Meet the Maker. Is there anything you want to say in closing?
Yeah, thank you, Eugene. I appreciate everything you do for the small makers, and yeah, I can't wait to meet you in person again.
Awesome, man. Hey, thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Eugene.